Good morning. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and the ranking member. I want to thank all the witnesses for your willingness to help the committee with its work. Special welcome to Governor O'Malley and my old friend, Representative Davis. Mr. Chairman, good to see you again. Thanks for your help on this issue. I know that you have a rich history here. Just on that last point in the previous question, would the hellacious traffic situation here around D.C. Induce employees to want to work from home? You know, I'm from the Boston area. We have a fair amount of traffic, but I have not seen traffic like I see here on the Beltway in D.C. It is unbelievable. Would that induce and would that improve efficiency if people weren't stuck in that traffic each and every day?
Well, I think traffic is always a factor. I'll just add, I mean, I paid $30 in tolls coming in today from Vienna.
Wow.
It's at peak hours. But when everybody's back, it can go as high as $50.
Yeah.
Some days it's less than that, and it's before 9:30 when they cut off. So there's no question from an employee point of view and a traffic point of view, sending everybody back to work is going to have an impact on that. But you also got to look at it puts more people into rail. And that's really where we're hurting. I just want to focus on that because it'll come back to Congress for aid on a metro system that's designed to carry hundreds of thousands more people than it's carrying right now because they're just not coming in.
Right. I do notice in my area in Boston that many of the private companies, the big banks, insurance companies, are reducing the amount of office space that they have been spending money on, and they've been encouraging employees to work from home and to telework. I mean, there's efficiency that they see in that. Would that not be the same case for some of these government agencies? I know that, for example, some of our postal offices and other government buildings are rented out in very high-cost areas, and there might be a reduction in cost to the taxpayer if we were to adopt that same practice.
Look, there is no question that with the addition of Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and some of these areas, the world has changed. You can be more efficient in some ways, as one of our previous testimony here goes. Some of this is from the workplace itself and being able to have multiple people participate in this kind of thing. My point here, though, is it's way out of balance. The federal government is way out of balance with where the private sector has moved post-COVID at this point. It's having a huge economic impact on the region, and it's a question of what's the right balance. But
okay, reclaiming my time, Mr. Chairman. I do want to point out, though, that so with the federal government, we have much different responsibilities than the private sector in many cases. 71% of the federal workforce is in Homeland Security and Defense, right there. And so those are unique, and they aren't necessarily conducive to remote work. The civilian employees who are supporting our warfighters need to be there. They do not have jobs that are conducive to remote work. Our postal employees that sort and deliver the mail each and every single day. There's no way to do that remotely. They're stepping up. The Office of Management and Budget is saying, maybe it's OPM, Office of Personnel Management, has said that 80% of the hours worked by federal employees are in person. 80% of those hours are in person. And obviously, because TSA screeners, that the whole border security piece, that's all got to be done in person. So it's a dwindling area. Also, 30% of our federal employees are veterans. So they, I dare say they have a work ethic that the general population does not necessarily possess, to be honest with you. And while I support government efficiency, I really do. And there's some inefficiency here that we need to work on. What I object to is targeting federal employees for malicious reasons, to say we're going to have mass layoffs and we're going to move people around the country. Only 20% of federal employees work in the D.C. area. 80% are California, Texas, elsewhere around the country. So I do object to some of the statements made by Mr. Ramaswamy and Mr. Musk that seem to denigrate the service and the character and integrity of some of our federal employees. But with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll yield back.